Good evening, everyone. So, when I started watching BookTube, I had discovered I learned about the whole concept of the TBR. I figured out what it was, and I thought it was a blessing because it will help me read all the books that I tend to neglect because I go straight to the ones I am really excited to read, the ones that just. And so, unfortunately, there's books like Lord of the Rings, which, as I said in my probably will never read tag, that one I've had for a long time and might not ever read. Or, I'm hoping, though, that won't happen. I'm hoping at one point I will read those books, because even though I still believe that you shouldn't give someone a hard time just because they prefer watching the movies and they just can't get into the books. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Not everybody can get into the precious Lord of the Rings books. So, and the movies are a lot easier. I'm sorry, they are. I know that they're not as poetic and intelligent as the books, because the books use such beautiful flowery language, but I'm sorry, not everybody can find that easy to read and to not get bored. Yes, I said get bored. But there are other books that I've neglected. I've always tried to include more than just fantasy on my bookshelf, but it's not, fantasy is my number one genre. So if it's a fantasy, then I will probably get to it first. So with that being said, no surprise, the TBR fell through. I established a TBR, that would include, books that weren't fantasy that I have on my shelf that I haven't read. And I've included, the classics, that some of them would be first. And, I included the ones that were the classics that are really challenging, like The Count of Monte Cristo, mainly because of its size. And, of course, with those books that were written during the 1800s and before then, the writing style is just hard for people to get into, for some people to get into. But like I said, unfortunately the TBR fell through. So I've been trying to find different other methods to, get me to read the other books on my shelf. Now, so I decided to do the TBR jar thing. But basically I didn't pick a list of books, that I wanted to get to it really soon. I basically put all my books in this little jar, which, by the way, it's actually a jar that my sister was in a sorority in college. In this jar, my aunt I believe my aunt had made this for her. That it kind of represents the colors of her sorority, like red and green. It has the sorority name on it, I believe. And I was using it for my bookmarks. I do not know how I got a hold of it. Maybe I asked my sister for it, and she gave it to me. So I figured I could use it for something, and lo and behold, I found use for it. Like I said, I was currently using it for my bookmarks, and I decided that it would be perfect for this little assignment, and I put my bookmarks in one of my shoe boxes. Although with my bookmarks, because I have a variety of different types, I kind of want to put them in a more organized case, but I don't know if that's going to happen, and, at the end of the day, it's not such a huge deal, so, it's not like it's not like I need to spend the money just to have a little perfect organization system for my bookmarks. And I'd still end up, picking ones that are my favorites, just like my books. So, now I think I have picked books that I'm going to lean more towards this month that I'm going to read. But depending on what I get when I pick from this might be for July, or I might just stick with what I've already picked out, because I did pick out some books. But I felt obligated to at least try this. So I left those aside and decided to do this. And who knows, maybe I'll get lucky and those will be the ones I choose. But it's very slim chance. So I'm going to shake this again. Okay, so Okay, so the first, let's open the jar. Okay. I'm gonna do this too. Oh, well, I may as well get the one that just, oh wait. Don't look down because I might see. Okay, so let's see. First book I choose is The Hunchback of Notre Dame. A classic, a French classic. So I guess that will be the next book I read. Maybe not now, maybe not this month, maybe next month, or some of these I might mix in with what I'm already thinking about reading. Okay, let's see the next choice. A Separate Piece, which is a classic, I believe, one I read a long time ago. I think in middle school. Because I don't remember reading it in high school. And for some reason, I have thought about reading it again. So this will be one of the books, a reread. Or maybe these will be the books I will read after I read the ones I really want to read right now. Or bring with me. I can't decide. I mean, this might just be, or be like The 13th Tale, another reread. And you know what? I'm going to try that again because I don't want to have, well, although I did say 2 rereads. Okay, so I'll put that as a reread. So 2 rereads. Let's hopefully the next one I pick won't be a reread. If it is, I'll put it back. Because I don't want to have too many rereads. Sounds funny. Catcher in the Rye. Oh, that would be a reread. Because I read that a long time ago. Granted, I don't remember it that well. But I remember I liked it. But I don't know for sure if I truly do like it. So I'll have to reread. So at some point I like to reread it again. And you say that enough times, it sounds kind of funny. Okay, let's see. What's this one? American Gods. Okay, I definitely have not read that one because I just got that one. American Gods. My first Neil Gaiman book. I've been wanting to read that, and I'm tempted to check out the show. That might be one of the ones I'll include now when I go, because I'm going to stay with my grandma for a little bit. So that might be one I'll read when I go visit her. That one might be one I'll bring. That's what I might do. Some of these might be ones I'll. Okay, so Stranger Things. I don't know how many of these I'm gonna read. I really should have thought about that first. Well, I guess I'll go with, let's see, how many do I have so far? It's 4, 5, I'll go with 10. I'll pick 10, so I'll pick 5 more. Stranger Things, which is a series of short stories, and a book with a series of short stories written by Kelly Link, an author that my sister introduced to me, and I've read one of them, I believe. I think this is, or no, actually, I read the other one. I have 2 of her collections. Actually, I think the title Stranger Things Happen, but when I was cutting this, I think I cut off the word happen. So, okay, so I said I'll pick 10. Okay, so, or maybe what I'll do instead of worrying about it going monthly, I will just seasonally or something, or just a period of a few months. I'll figure it out, like maybe 3 months or something. Okay. So next one I choose is Gone with the Wind. Okay, that's a reread. I might come back to it. Like I said, for right now, these first 10, I don't want too many rereads. Well, actually, maybe I will. Maybe at least, maybe I'll consider that one. Okay. Okay, so Dickens, which I don't think I spelled right. So unfortunately, that will be kind of hard because I will have to take the time and pick Dickens, a work of his. So I'll put that. No, actually, you know what? That's. I have too many classics now. I need to mix in. So I'll come back to that one. Okay. Treasure Island. Oh, another classic. I have quite a few classics. I want to add more variety. Well, although maybe, I don't know, maybe I should have kept it. Maybe the next class that I pick I'll keep. Get in trouble. No. Okay, I know I'm being super picky about this. Let's see. I shouldn't look down. I should look. Let's see, what's this one? The Tolls of Death. Okay. Tolls of Death, that is a medieval mystery. I believe that I started reading, but then I kind of got bored. It was a hard time to get into it, but I'm going to try again because I can't. I normally would donate my books, but the place I donate them, that's where I bought that one. So it'll be kind of weird to return it. So I'm going to try again, and if not, if I don't get into it, maybe I'll give it to someone else. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 more. Again with the Dickens. I don't want to do her. No, wait. Okay, so next. Oh, Oscar Wilde. Okay, again, a classic. I'm trying to wait on the classics. And if they author's name, it's because I have a collection of their stories. Let's see, what's this one? Dorothy Must Die. You know, I put that one in there, but I read that one a little, not that recently, but like last year, so I don't want to read that one just yet. Although I probably should reread it, but I'm going to wait on that one. Brain on Fire. Okay, so this is a different Brain on Fire. This is actually nonfiction. And it is this woman has a mental disorder or something. I don't remember what it said on the back. Like memory loss or something. Something very interesting. Okay, so that's number 8, I believe. Oscar Wilde. Again, I'm trying not to get too many classics. Okay. Divine Series, the Ya-Ya Sisterhood. Oh, this is where it has the word happen from the title Stranger Things. Stranger Things Happen. So, the Divine Secrets of the Ya-Ya Sisterhood. I don't remember who the author is, but it's basically about a mother and a daughter, and the mom's an alcoholic, and she's a bit of a Southern belle from the 1960s, and it's kind of about their relationship and how the daughter, as a woman, is beginning to understand her learns about her mother and what she was like, and begins to understand her better. And it's really, like, I haven't read the book, but I saw the movie, so I've been wanting to read the book for years, so yes, it's one of the ones I picked. Okay, so let's see, that's 9, so 1 more. Okay. Let's see, what's this one? Infernal Devices. Okay, so, let's see, how many rereads do I have? Okay, I haven't read this one, nor this one, in fact, I just got it. Haven't read this one. This is a reread. Haven't read. Have not read. I've only read one. This is a reread. Reread. Have not read. Okay, so I only have 3 rereads. Like I said, it's funny saying reread. if you say enough time. So I guess I will start rereading the trilogy. I mean, which actually that counts as more than 10 books. But that's okay. So I'll figure it. I don't know when I'm gonna read these. But I do believe I want to read. I think I have an idea of what I want to read now. I just felt a little guilty that I didn't right away because I just got some of those books that I'm thinking about reading, and I just felt bad for reading them right away. But I'm gonna do this again after I go through those books. So I will just leave these in here and do it again. Okay, so I will stick with these, keep these out, and do this again. And then I guess I will throw these away at some point. So anyway, I guess let's go over this again. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna read Brain on Fire, American Gods, which I might read now. Tolls of Death. I don't know when I'll get to that one, but I want to get to it. Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's a classic. Although American Gods is probably going to become a classic in its own right eventually. It will be considered one that you study. I mean, I don't know. I haven't read it, but I mean, I don't know. It just gives me that vibe. Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood. I'm eager to read that one. I might end up picking that one. Might be one of my contemporaries, or well, at least not Separate Peace, classic. Infernal Devices, a reread. Oh, that one's a reread too. This I will read. So I guess I'll be reading the trilogy now. Gone with the Wind, a reread. Gone with the Wind is one of my first like over 500-page books that I finished, which I was very proud of when that happened. Stranger Things, this is an anthology story, so I will be reading, I don't know if I'll read the whole thing or just read a few stories from it. And then The 13th Tale, which will also be a reread. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that little short video. And by the way, if there's any suggestions how I can improve these videos when you do watch, if you do watch them, if there's any suggestions to improve them, I would love to hear it, because I don't know how well I'm doing. I do know that I know this is supposed to be all fun, but it would be kind of nice if I had, more than, forget that. Never mind. Just basically, if there's any suggestions for improvement on making these videos, please let me know. Alright, thank you, and goodbye. Good night.